Season came to a close last night. The Thunder, they completed the sweep of the Lakers, but that leaves big questions, right, about what comes next for LeBron James. Also, Luka Doncic, he spoke last night. Our Bobby Marks, he's going to be here in just a little bit to explain exactly how the Lakers should be building around him. And the Lakers, they hold exit interviews. They did so just a couple of hours ago. So we're going to hear from Rob Pelinka, his thoughts on LeBron, the offseason. But first, let's hear from the man himself. Here's LeBron James on what's next.
I mean, with my future, I don't know, obviously. I mean, obviously we're still fresh from, obviously losing, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the future holds for me, obviously, as it stands right now tonight. I got a lot of time. I'll sit back, like I think I said it last year after we lost, I think, to Minnesota, to go back and recalibrate with my family and talk with them and spend some time with them. And then when the time comes, I obviously, you guys know what I decide to do. If I can commit to still being in love with the process of showing up to the arena 5.5 hours before a game to start preparing for a game, giving everything I got, diving for loose balls, and doing everything that you know that it takes to go out and play, and showing up to practices. 11 o'clock practice, I'm there at 8 o'clock, preparing my body, preparing my mind, preparing to practice, to put the work in. And, so I think for me, I've always been in love with the process and not the aftermath of like, okay, well, we won that game, or we won a championship, or I've always enjoyed the process and more than the outcome, so I think that would be a big factor. And then also, have a conversation with my 12-year-old daughter. That's a big factor. And my 19-year-old son is entering his second year at Arizona, and my wife as well. So they're a huge factor in any decision I've made. So they'll be a big part of it as well.
So LeBron is going to confer with his family. We are going to check in with Dave McMenamin, who joins us from the Lakers' El Segundo practice facility. Dave, you were in that room with LeBron last night. You've actually been at the last 11 postseason press conferences for LeBron James. What was different about last night? What stood out to you?
Well, Malika, one of the family members that LeBron didn't mention, that'll be part of his decision-making process, I'm sure, is his son, his teammate, Bronny James. He's on the Lakers. You'd think, based on the way they were able to play with one another late in the season, have a 10-point run together in a road playoff game against Houston, that may be something that's enticing for him to come back. He really distanced himself from any type of retirement talk yesterday. He didn't want to indulge in that. Now, he made it clear that he still has some time that he needs to take to decompress and step away and figure out exactly what he wants to do. But he was not leaving a breadcrumb trail of retirement talk for us to pick up on. And that was a little bit different, quite frankly, than in the last couple of years.
Right. A couple of years ago, it felt like we were having these conversations about could this be it for LeBron James. It doesn't quite feel like the note that we're going out on, but he said he needs a little bit of time, and we're certainly going to give him that. You're out in El Segundo because the Lakers, they're holding their exit interviews today. And we just heard from Rob Pelinka, their general manager, team president. Let's take a listen.
In terms of LeBron, we probably haven't seen a player that has honored the game to the extent that he's honored the game. He's given so much to his teammates, to this organization. And the thing we want to do more than anything else is honor him back. And I think the first order of business there is allowing him to spend the time he needs to decide what his next step are. Does he want to play another year in the NBA? And that'll be, as he said to you guys last night, family time, I think time with his inner circle. And we just want to honor that for him.
All right, so that's just some of what Rob Pelinka said in his comments here. Dave, you were in the room. What's the most important thing for us to know here?
Yeah, Malika, the press conference with Pelinka and JJ Redick spanned more than 35 minutes, so there's a lot of ground covered, starting with the way the team is already putting the resources that the new ownership group led by Mark Walter to use. One thing, they're going to be adding biomechanic equipment and also recovery equipment to the facility here, consulting with the Dodgers to see what type of stuff they use for their players. They're looking to expand the front office. Rob Pelinka says they're looking to hire 2 assistant general managers, one in charge of pro personnel, another one in charge of analytics and cap data. beyond that, there's a couple other free agents beyond LeBron James that are coming up this summer, namely Austin Reaves, the second longest tenured Laker behind LeBron. And in no uncertain terms, Ron Pelinka said he wants to have Austin Reaves back in a Lakers uniform, and he says those conversations have already begun with Austin's representatives. And so JJ Redick, his perspective from the coaching side is we got to get deeper and we got to be better defensively, but he likes the core that he has in place, and he thinks there was a proof of concept with LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reaves working together with that 16-2 stretch from late February through the end of March.
Yeah, proof of concept is certainly an interesting way to put that, Dave. Thank you very much for that insight. So lots of decisions here for the Los Angeles Lakers, but I'm sitting with two guys who know not only about playing with LeBron, about winning a ring with LeBron, the man in the zebra vest, Amon Shumpert. Danny Green with me here as well. Amon, I'm going to start with you. What stood out from you? You've heard LeBron talk and you've seen LeBron's actions. What did you help us decipher this?
The biggest thing that I took from what he said when he did his post game was he kept talking. Well, he was talking about all the other things, but then he talked about being the third option and it being the first time he did it, and being proud of himself that he was the third option, and then being proud of himself and being able to adjust his mindset and conform to the same role that he had to revert back to, which was the number one option. Seeing him do that, I don't know, something about that as a competitor, I can see he wants to do this again. He's coming back for more. I don't know what uniform he'll have. He's coming back.
He's definitely coming back. The biggest thing that I got was that a lot of people question whether he's being truthful, have these cryptic messages, or leading bread. I think he's being very truthful. He does not know, because this is the first time in a long time he's an unrestricted free agent where he doesn't have an extension, and he doesn't know what the Lakers are going to offer, provide. Everybody's going to want him at a discounted price because he's 41 years old. But even at 41 years old, he's proven he's one of the better players in this league and in the world. And he was the most available. He was the most valuable. Like, even with Austin Reaves coming back, he was your best player in the playoffs. He's shown up. So why would a guy like that ever take a discount, especially the one that they're looking for? So he doesn't really know who's going to offer what, being an unrestricted free agent. So I think he's just thinking about chilling with his family, golfing right now, but he's really truthful and does not know what the future's going to bring.
He's certainly they're going to have to make the math work, right? And that's sort of a different conversation. But you were both with LeBron. You were with him in 2010, right? When
yes,
he was
early on,
the decision,
9-10, and then 2020.
Right, to leave. And you were with him when he was also making the decision on whether or not he wanted to leave in 2018 from the Capitals.
Oh, no, I was gone. But I was around.
You were still around. Did you guys know at that point? You were listening to what he was saying. Did you have a gut feeling?
I had no idea.
I couldn't have imagined him leaving, especially not after he had got to hoist up another championship for Cleveland. I couldn't have imagined him leaving to go to L.A., but then again, I wasn't going to imagine him the first time leaving Cleveland. So for me, I think I've had to sit back and respect that he just doesn't think like everybody else.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Rich Paul had a post not too long ago on Twitter going around, but he was talking about how Bron was raised. I really had to give it some thought. I retweeted it.
Deep dive.
Yeah, I gave it some thought, and I was just like, maybe he just